Guys, we did it. We hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. And I just want to say thank you so much. And it is all possible because of you. From my beginning subscribers all the way to my newest subscribers. I just want to say thank you so much. And then as promised, we will be doing a giveaway. Now, what is the giveaway again? Let's recap, especially for those of you who are new. We are going to be giving away a sleeved set of Destined Rivals. And we're gonna do the complete art set right here. It's going to be given to you guys, to one lucky subscriber today. And I just want to tell you guys, once again, thank you so much. You have made things so good for me. It brought a warm feeling to my heart to say, man, I reached 1,000 subscribers. It took long enough, I know, but I remained patient and I remained hardworking, trying my best to grow here on YouTube. And it only happened because of you. And I appreciate you guys so much. Now, the question you may ask is, well, how do I enter? Well, one, I'm a subscriber. Is it too late? No, you can subscribe during this video and you can most definitely qualify from there. Now, what are we going to answer? What's the comment? The comment is going to be, do you think Pokemon vendors are good for the Pokemon hobby? And I will have that comment, I will have that question in the comment description below. And then you just go and you answer it and you're a subscriber and there you go, you're in. And then I'll pick comment selector or comment finder and they will pick a winner from there. And yes, that's pretty much what the video is going to be about. Are Pokemon vendors good for the Pokemon hobby? And I'm going to do my best to answer these unedited, okay? I'm going to do my best. So if I do, for some reason, edit this, it's because I either took too long or there was a distraction that happened that pulled me away for a long time, okay? But I do want to address this. Are Pokemon vendors good for the hobby? Well, I am a Pokemon vendor, and I could tell you that I'm going to stand on the side of Pokemon vendors are good for the most part, right? And then you can always say, too, that Pokemon vendors are bad. I'm not going to get mad and be like, oh, you said Pokemon vendors are not good, so I'm not going to make you part of the giveaway. No, you have the right to voice your opinion, and your voice, regardless of it's in my favor or not, will most definitely be part of the giveaway. And as you heard, my dog is right behind me. Forgive me if he makes noise. If I need to, I'll edit out some of those parts. But for the most part, I want to give you a true, unedited answer organically. Now, ever since I've been a Pokemon vendor, I will say I've gotten a little bit more negative comments, either whether it's in the comment section or if it's being DM'd. I have since being a vendor. And it's because I think we see these bad vendor videos of like these bad boy vendors doing crazy stuff. And then all of a sudden we get labeled as like those guys. And I will tell you, it sucks because I've been told a lot of things. I've been told now that I'm a scalper, apparently, even though I have 2 jobs. I have a pregnant wife. I cook as soon as I come home. I don't get home until like 8 o'clock. Like, I don't have time, guys, to go and do all this stuff. I can't go online and wait for things to drop. I can't go to the stores and wait in line to get things and just scalp it all from the kids. I can't do all that. So not all vendors do that. And I can tell you for a fact, most vendors do have families. They don't have a chance to do that, right? So not all Pokemon vendors are bad. For the most part, most people who do that are usually the guys who don't vend because they'd rather just stay at home and make the quick dollar. They don't want to pay for a table. They don't want to do all the interactions. They just want to post it online, have someone say, oh, come buy this, and then they go make the deal. For vendors, it's all about the experience. We love being around Pokemon, at least most of us. I'm not here to defend the bad guys. I'm not. But we have to remember, guys, that where there is good, there's always bad in all categories. It's not just vendors are bad. The community is what's right. No, there are some bad people in the community as well that want to take advantage of vendors and other people. Like, I've been sold fake cards. I mean, is it my fault for not being knowledgeable? Yes. But even the top guys like Jarchomp has been fooled before. I mean, Jarchomp took on a fake Chinese exclusive Mew that was $3,000. And honestly, had he not been as big, he probably would have stopped vending because it would have hurt his business. But because he's a big monster, there's my dog right there, it didn't hurt him as much. If that happened to me, I'm not vending anymore because my wife is going to have an argument with me and I can't do this anymore. So for the most part, we don't try to scalp or do anything like that. Now, I know what you're saying. People have come up to me and said, well, I don't like these vendors because all they do is overprice their cards. Well, yes, vendors can do that, but really, vendors don't dictate the price on cards, okay, guys? Actually, it's the customer that dictates the price. Why? Well, because The prices are all online. They're data. And for good vendors, what we do is we go and we try to price the cards based off of data. That's why the best vendors, they stick to the market and they get their data off of, whether it's Card Ladder, whether it's TCG Player, whether it's eBay. We do our best to stick within the comps. Yes, you'll always have those guys who overprice their cards, and all of a sudden, they have a bad rep now. And honestly, deservedly so. If you feel like they are doing bad for the hobby, then don't give them business, guys. It's simple. If you don't like someone, don't go there. If you like someone, go there. But just remember that most vendors are going to stick to the market. Now, there are two reasons that I can say some vendors, at least the good ones, if they get caught with overpriced cards, there's two reasons. One, they probably bought the card, at the higher end. And what happened was they're sitting on it and they're trying to not lose money. But to me, I'm with the customer on this one. If you overbought and over leveraged on a card, just sell it and move on. Because sitting on a brick is not smart for your business at all. So I don't think that most vendors should do that. And also, I don't know, but I've seen vendors get mad at a price and just leave. Negotiate. Because there's a second reason why sometimes vendors have overpriced cards. Guys, we're in a market like no other, where a card can change in like a week or two. And if a vendor hasn't changed his price due to, having a busy life like myself, and a lot of them do, a lot of them have kids, a lot of them have other jobs, sometimes some cards get left unpriced and it could be much cheaper and you got to steal, or it could be way too high. All you have to do is be like, hey, this was the recent comp and you reach this comp, and sometimes they will do it. Now, are there others that will be like, no, I'm sticking to that and be snobby? Absolutely. But remember, once again, it's twofold. There could be amazing vendors and amazing customers there, but there could also be tough vendors and tough customers. So you get to choose from there how you want to take it. Now, I've heard other comments saying like, you're a virgin. You're too old to be selling Pokemon cards. You literally are the worst kind of person. And let me tell you guys this really quick. I understand that most people view Pokemon as a child card game. But the truth is that who do you think were the kids when Pokemon came out? I know I was a kid. Most vendors are around my age or younger, right? They were the kids who came out and saw Pokemon from the beginning. So is it wrong that people my age want to dabble into Pokemon and recollect their childhood? No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not just for kids. Now, should kids have a shot to enjoy it and not deal with scalpers clearing out the shelves? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm with you 100% on that. But you can't just go and be like, these vendors, they just want to do it for money. No, there's a lot of vendors who actually go just because they want to be at card shows, which is a reason why I think vendors are good. Because without vendors, you don't have card shows. And card shows are some of the funnest experiences you can ever go to. I'm telling you. And like I said, I'm not everybody, but I've had a good time. I've had a good time at card shows where I sold absolutely nothing and where I sold thousands of dollars, right? I really have. It's because of the experience. You meet new people, talk about Pokemon. You meet other vendors who have other likings as you. And then you get connections. There's other people now who want you to go to their card shows. And you get to talk about cards. You get to see cards that you haven't seen in forever. Or you get to get a card that you never thought you would own ever in your life. Card shows are so freaking fun. And if you're someone who's criticizing and you haven't been to a card show, I would highly recommend go to a card show and make an evaluation from there. But I get it. It's not for everybody. Now, a big one I get is, well, you guys most definitely are scalpers because you take percentages. How dare you? Guys, if you go to a card shop, what do you think they're going to offer you? Most card shops offer you about 50, maybe 60%, maybe. And understandably, why? Because they got to pay for, their building that they're in. They got to pay for electricity. They got to pay their employers. So yes, they will be a little bit on the lower end, which is why vendors are good, because vendors will give you close to what you're asking for. Good vendors. Most good vendors will go and pay you 80 to 85% of something that they like. And then for cash, they'll be in the high 70s, maybe mid 70s. Now, if you do that at a card shop, you probably won't get that high. But then I hear the question, well, why would you even do percentages in the first place? Well, I hate to tell you guys, but most Pokemon vendors, they are a business. And I've never heard a business be sustainable when they buy something and they sell something for the same price. That means $0. That means that their business closes. And I understand as a customer, you don't understand that. But when you are selling these cards, you do have to do that in order to continue to attend other card shows, to afford to go to the card shows. Because you have to remember, most customers, at least in the smaller shows, they don't have to pay to get in. And if you do go to the bigger shows, yeah, you pay a pretty penny, but it's not like a lot compared to what the vendors have to pay. I mean, the biggest of shows, you got to pay maybe $400 just for a regular spot. And if you're trying to get a prime sponsorship part, you got to spend sometimes $1,000 to $800, just depending on what it is. So you can't be out that money and just be giving your cards out for free or 100% match. It doesn't make sense. And you just can't do that. And anyone who knows anything about business should know that. And for the most part, luckily, I haven't had that issue, but I've heard people and other vendors express that, that frustration that they got talked down to because they didn't want to buy a card at 100% or even 110% because a customer thought they had the right to. Here's my thing, you guys. If you don't like selling to percentages with vendors, then just go sell the card on the market at 100% for yourself. But for the most part, it's because you probably can't do it. So that's another reason why vendors take percentages, because now they're taking on the risk that you didn't want to take. So there's a chance, especially at a market these days, guys, the cards can change so much. Like, for example, anyone taking on Ascended Heroes and you're asking for 90%, that is such a bad buy for the vendors. Because if you guys have seen, Ascended Heroes cards are dropping crazy. Like the Psyduck, for example. The Psyduck was like a $120 card. Now it's like $55, $60. So gotta take that in consideration, right? That vendors gotta, take on that risk. So they do deserve a little cushion. They're doing the job for you. And in return, they're gonna give you cash or they're gonna give you some trade toward their cards. They're gonna give you some credit. And it's better credit than what you get from card shops. One thing I do wanna share with you guys, and I know I edited this, but I also wanna tell you the risk that vendors do take on. And it actually is a little bit scary, okay? One, we have a ton of people at a table talking to us at one time. At any moment, we are leaving ourselves vulnerable to theft. We are leaving ourselves vulnerable to taking in fake cards. We are leaving ourselves vulnerable to getting, robbed in a parking lot and getting harassed or beat up. There have been vendors that have been, absolutely, stolen from. Like, guys, like, I understand the fact that vendors have like the bad guy syndrome, but at the end of the day, same thing happens to us. We have to worry about all kinds of things. That's why you look at the cameras, it's like, oh, look at this, another vendor trying to go viral on YouTube because he's videotaping. No, for the most part, most of the reason why vendors videotape is not always because they want to blow up on YouTube. Yes, there's some, and there are more YouTuber vendors than ever before. But for the most part, it's for safety. It truly is for safety. Because if someone steals from us, we can most definitely track it down and be like, okay, this person did this. Or there was even an incident actually at the last card show where I saw a customer steal from another vendor and try to sell it to another vendor. And then the other vendor bought it. And then the other vendor went in and said, hey, do you have this card? That's my card. And he was like, yeah, a guy sold it to me. If he did not have a camera, just saying, we would not have found that person that was stealing from other vendors. So guys, this just opens the light and shows you that not everybody is a villain in the vending scene. If anything, if you guys see, vendors are like family. They really do try to take care of each other, and most good ones will try to take care of you too. And that's the goal of vending, is in the Pokemon hobby, vendors, most good ones, want you to enjoy your experience as much as we do. We love Pokemon just like everyone else. Is there rich people coming in that probably didn't belong to us before? Absolutely. Are there people who want to make a quick buck? Absolutely. Truth is, guys, wherever there is money, there will be bad guys. It's happening not even just in Pokemon. It's happening in One Piece. It's happening in Dragon Ball. It's going to happen anywhere where there is money going. And it doesn't mean that because people are joining And because people are doing things a little differently than the way you enjoy it, means that they're bad people. If we can just learn that however we enjoy the hobby, let's accept them for who they are, that's when Pokemon will be in a good state. But right now, we see so much division in Pokemon, it almost makes it disappointing because back then, Pokemon was a loving community where everyone just liked to talk about Pokemon. Now it's name calling this. You have channels of people ripping each other apart. You have people saying that this YouTuber sucks because of this. This person's a scammer because of this. Guys, at the end of the day, we don't know the reasoning behind anything. But at the end of the day, if you enjoy the hobby, don't let a certain person doing the hobby a certain way affect how you do the hobby. At the end of the day, that's why I think vendors are good for the hobby. Now, if you don't agree with that, then that is okay. You have every right to put that down in the comment section below and answer the giveaway. With that being said, you guys, I may have left some things out. Feel free to leave that in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. But as a fellow vendor, I can tell you, I truly believe that we are good. And I think also it's good for the hobby. So with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching my video. And thank you so much for the subscribers that have joined. And if you feel like you're too late to the giveaway, you are not. You can still respond to this question, you can still subscribe, and you can still be part of this video. And when will that giveaway person be named? On my next video. So if you do want to know, please do watch my next video and make sure you are a subscriber. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.